Hello. Magnus Nest tournament was here, the European Club Cup. It's a yearly event where like the top, I think it's top two or top three teams from each country that is the best countries in the local leagues qualifies and can participate for in the European Club Cup. I don't know what team Magnus is playing for, but I've looked through these games here and I've this game against Alexander Huzman is the most interesting. He's a very low-rated player, but he's despite being a low-rated player, he tries to attack Magnus very hard here. So it's an interesting game because Magnus is playing a fearless player who is who tries to beat him here. So we will see it here. So it's the Queen's Indian again. So this move here, a4, is apparently the most played. It looks a little bit weird, but it's probably White's most aggressive cry. Aronian has played it. Looks like they're on the right. And d5 is logical. Black has to break in the center. And White loses his right to castling, but he gets some space here, so the computer thinks it's fine for White. So you got to get a kind of an unusual position, but it's better for White. And you don't have to care. Sometimes people think like this is a bad bishop and this is good, but the bad bishop defends strong pawns, so it's not, as long as there are more pieces left to play with, there is good chances for White to get some attack. For example, if Black would castle kingside, White can start pushing the h pawn to get some attack maybe, and if Black castles queenside, then maybe he could do some break here, but White decides to change the position here, which the computer does not like. He's playing c4 here. Obviously it's afraid that Black would do something like that, but use something, maybe pushing the pawn and here, and when White does this, maybe looks, the computer likes pushing the pawn at least. But let's see what happened. Now c4 here, and now Magnus make the best move probably, which is also a weird move. He's retreating here, and he obviously wants to get some kind of a knight here. But why can't White take here? Looks like White can just win a pawn here for nothing. It's not only a pawn, it also prevents the castling here. Maybe would have done this. Yeah, the computer likes this for White. Looks like White is just a pawn up, but obviously it's not easy to convert it. Maybe Black soon can start to break with f6 and get some players. Maybe that was what White didn't like. So he decided to check again, but yeah, now White doesn't have. Yeah, it just looked wrong, and it was a free pawn there. Surely White should have taken it. Here Magnus make a move that computer likes. Like if he would castle and then it would be hard to develop the knight because this one would be hanging, so he's deciding to cover it with the king. Computer likes that. Obviously the risk with this one is that sometimes White could play like this, but now it's being pinned here, so it doesn't work now. If this, I didn't see that, but this knight is pinned, so it's fine to play like that for now. And here white makes an interesting sacrifice. It would have been safer for black to play like this. And it seems like the position seems even here. It's even pawns. Yeah, it looks very even. But the way Magnus plays now, it allows white an interesting sacrifice here that white does. And I like that he's trying to like, for example, this endgame. I'm pretty sure actually that Magnus would have won this against Huzman. I can't believe he can play an endgame against Magnus. So it's definitely right to get some tactics here. So he sacrificed the rook. Now if black takes here, he will check and then take back, winning a pawn. So Magnus has to accept it. And the point is, of course, this d5 here. It was also possible to go here. Then takes, check, and here. This is only move. This looks pretty dangerous for black, but still the key is that this is pinned, because if he could go with a knight here, it would be over, of course. The computer still thinks this is even. Don't really see why he wants to push the g-pawn, though. But of course it's not easy for black to do anything, because he probably does not want to take the rook, because you can take back here. Yeah, it's a little bit more logical for white to try to trade queens here. But white doesn't have to allow that. And he gets the chance to give a check here. Could also have gone like this. And also this one was also looking interesting. Sometimes, yeah, there is this saying like Patzer sees a check, Patzer gives some check. Sometimes it's better used to save the check and maybe check next move. So this computer says 0-0, but it looks dangerous for black. The rooks are not developed. King is weak in the center. And it's just an exchange. But he checks here. That's also fine. And this is interesting that he goes forward. That's pretty gutsy. More normal would have been to go back, something like this. Problem with this is that he can check again, but maybe also that looks better. Then he can go here. If he takes here, then he can win the queen. So here black has to play very carefully. The only move is this one. It would have been a very, very interesting game, that also. Obviously hard for the players to calculate like a computer here. So Magnus went forward. He gave a check. Also this was possibility to try to get in here. Let's see how that line. And no, for some reason he can't take here. He has to go here. Yeah, that king in the center, it just looks very, very dangerous. But the computer thinks white doesn't have more than a draw here. But it's a very scary position for black here. Especially in like a team tournament like European Club Cup, where Magnus is like expected to win all the games, especially when he's playing a low rated player. So let's see what happened. He gave a check here. He took, and here apparently he made a blunder. He checked again. Yeah, he's driving black's king backs with checks, but black want to do that anyway, so let's look at the last moves here. Like in this position, Magnus King started on d7, and it's just going forward every move, and then it's going back. And white, he just went and ate the knight on d4 for nothing basically. Like so it's yeah. Oh, as we can see here, white has many ways here to get at least a draw. For example, this move here is good. It threatens to check here and win the queen, which maybe black can still like survive this endgame. White for sure has drawing checks, but it doesn't look like he has more. The computer thinks that the game will end that white will get drawing checks. And if he goes here, then he has to play exact here. Like for example, queen b7 doesn't go because he can trade queens, so he has to check here now. Okay, and then he can win the queen. And if he goes here, he can go here. Yeah, it's not easy lines to play or see if you're used at the chessboard. I have the advantage with the computer, of course. So, but just in principle, like in this position, you don't just want to let black put the king on e8 if you don't get anything for it. So quite clear that these moves by white are wrong if you just think about it logically. So he does the best chance here, e6. If this one, he can go here. Checks are out. And he finds the best move that they are actually the only move that keeps the advantage here. If he would have taken, what can white do then? And this one seems to force a draw. Okay, black has perpetual now. He can't obviously go here because it's mate here, and he's not allowed to castle because he moved the king, of course. That was what white hoped for. Magnus saw that and he went here. So he took, if this, yeah, now when he has that one, white cannot go back because of the queen. So, and if this one apparently can check here and then play like this. And for some reason it's good to have the queen here. Can't he do like this? No, he needs to cover this square, yeah, because that's perpetual. So he took here. It's logical to take back. Yeah. But still, black has to play exact. Again, only one move that wins, the rest are drawn. Okay, so rook f7 was safer. Yeah, and again, Magnus has to play careful. Like if he would go here, then he can lose the queen again. So, yeah, Magnus feels like he played this game very perfectly. It's not often that Magnus gets under such a powerful attack like this, but he defended masterfully. It looks like he played the best move like all the way. Computer agrees with like every move here. Maybe not when he allowed the sack, maybe not here, he could have traded queens and don't have to do this one, but once white did sacrifice, seems like Magnus constantly played the best moves here, so that's very impressive. It was like 15 moves that he had to play like the only move to not lose. Don't think there is many more players except him that can defend with such an accuracy. Definitely very impressive. And here white gave up. Yeah, the attack is done. He doesn't have any check and he's a rook down, so understandable that he resigned here. Okay, see you next video.